Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Democracy 3. My name, of course, is Orbital Potato. Today, we are going to be playing as a brand new country. Well, not really. We're going to be playing as the British Empire. The British Empire, if you are unaware, was basically when Britain controlled, what was it, a fifth of the world's total land area. It was, in fact, it says right here, I was trying to remember it, a quarter of the world's landmass and a fifth of the world's population. So I thought it would be really, really interesting to try playing as an empire, because the scale on this country, or this group of countries is just going to be insane. You know, this is going to be much more comparable to America rather than the UK. So I thought it would be a little bit interesting to check out. Life expectancy of an average of 73.85 years seems a little bit ambitious to me, but you know what? Hey ho. GDP per capita, I'm fairly certain that it wasn't actually 21,000, but you know what? Hey ho. And cricket played 3.4 days a year. Yeah, maybe, I guess, if that's how you measure cricket. But 3.4 days per year, I suppose that seems like a fairly accurate number. Anyway, yeah, so something else that I've got installed, and I didn't really show it, but hey ho. We'll play as the Liberal Party, because they're actually a party, and we can be up against the Labour Party. There we go, the Labour Party. Both two political parties. No limit on terms, because of course we are, you know, prime ministerial, and 5 years is the term length. Although, you know what, let's stick it on 3 terms, just because why the fuck not? Compulsory voting will stick on, because I think it would be quite good fun. Earthquakes and hurricanes I'm also going to stick on, because in some parts of the Commonwealth, in some parts of the British Empire, there are earthquakes and hurricanes. I don't really know what these sliders do, you know, I'll be quite frank, but we'll put the difficulty up to 150%, I guess, because why the fuck not? The last time I tried playing around with the difficulty, the only thing that it seemed to change was the debt, or that was the only thing that I noticed that changed anyway, but you know, hey ho, let's get started. So something else that I have added is an Economic Realism Mod, and that is basically a mod that tries to balance out a couple of the different numbers in the game. I've been looking around for a mod that sort of does something like this, because I really, really do think that this game is very, very unrealistic in some of the way that it carries out its calculations. But anyway, here we go. Welcome to your new job as Prime Minister. The lives of all 1.5 billion citizens are now in your hands. So as you can see, the British Empire used to take up a fairly large chunk of the earth. GDP is actually quite good at the moment. That's quite surprising. But we are currently running a deficit. We are currently in debt by a lot of wonga. A lot of wonga. And our interest rate is actually not that bad at the moment, so I don't think we can really complain too much about that. But talking about the Economic Realism Mod, unemployment is now a factor in income tax. So the fact that when we actually reduce income tax, that will actually reduce unemployment, I think that's kind of cool. You know, the Economic Realism Mod doesn't make major changes, but it's made enough small changes that it actually makes a significant difference. Also, there's a whole bunch of new stuff in here. There's a couple of new policies and whatnot. For example, European policy. I really haven't gone through the patch notes or the update notes or the description one by one, but I know enough that there are a couple of things that have changed. The Navy, Britannia rules the waves. Adjust our military spending. Good. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff. There's a heck of a lot of stuff that we can change. Okay, how are we going to play this campaign? Well, we've got a few problems, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's the problems that I wanna fix, you know, first. So racial tension is a really big problem for the British Empire, or at least it was back in the day. And let me tell you, I'm not up to date on history, right? I really do not know the history of the British Empire, but we've got a whole bunch of stuff that increases racial tension, and it's currently at the max, which is really very bad. Immigration is apparently through the fucking roof for some reason. But you know what? Let's just move away from that, okay? So there's going to be a bunch of stuff that affects our voters and what the hell they want to do, because obviously there's compulsory voting as well now. Military strength, holy cow, this is... Wow. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff that is just added, and I really, really like that, because it means that it's going to be less dependent on some of the factors that I really think are ridiculous. What is this over here? Oil drilling subsidies. We've got that implemented already? Okay, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. So, oh my goodness, a nuclear program. Holy cow. Oh, we've also got nuclear power from another mod pack, I think. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, a whole lot of stuff that we can sort of do. And we've even got the BBC. Even got the BBC. How fantastic is that? And it does pretty much nothing. But you know what? That's fine. It does increase education and foreign relations. Just that little bit. Okay, so what sort of manner do we want to play the British Empire in? Well, if we have a look at some of the achievements that we've got to earn, still got the Socialist Paradise, which we failed to earn in the last playthrough. A little bit annoying, but hey-ho, what can you do? Free Market Paradise. You can now truly hold this country up as the prime example of a free market system where everything and everyone is for sale at the right price. Popular leader. You know, we got a whole bunch of stuff to do, but I'm really not that concerned about going for an achievement this time. I really did want to just try out this brand new mod and oh wow, incinerator plants. Holy cow. Is there a lot more stuff? There looks like, it feels like there is a lot more stuff. Productivity campaign. Okay. The euro. Holy cow. Wow, okay. And then that's in addition to our interest rate and our money supply. That's cool. I like that. I dig it. Ethanol stations. Wow, holy cow. Yeah, so as you can see, a fairly big change. Now let's stop talking and let's start doing, shall we? We've got a little bit of a real estate bubble. And it seems that immigration is causing a fair amount of our problems. Now, pollution is also a problem. Now, waste is really taking away from the environment. So let's try and fix that, I guess. Waste collection. We'll fully fund that. It's going to cost us an extra couple of billion, but I think that it's a worthwhile investment at the very start. That is a modded factor, by the way. That's not in the base game. Waste is not in the base game. Anyway, we've got a whole bunch of problems, as I've said, that we want to try and fix. Chief amongst them is probably the fact that we are running a slight deficit. I'm actually going to let this deficit run on. And the reason that I'm going to let it run on is because we've got such a good credit rating. We're going to be paying pretty much nothing in debt interest. Yeah, 4.3 billion. 4.3 billion in terms of our expenditure is nothing. I mean, if I was smarter, I could have told you exactly what percentage that was. Look, there we go. Like 0.3%. I think we've got to have a mental barrier, and we've just got to say, hey, if it goes above 3%, let's say, then we can start worrying about it. But until then, let's not worry about it, because we're better off just putting money into some of the public services that can try and, you know, get some of our problems down. So, obviously, if we can crack alcohol abuse, then boom, we're fucking sorted, really, aren't we? I mean, we're really sorted. An alcohol tax, I think this needs to be massively increased, I'm afraid. I really do. I mean, unless we want to change some alcohol policy, I mean, that is potentially possible. Although we can't raise this anyway. I think what we'll do is we'll just raise the alcohol tax. That's got the added bonus of giving us that little extra bit of cash as well. And it might, in fact, just get us out of debt altogether. Equality is going to drop down a bit, but you know what? I'm actually okay with that. Equality is probably not very good at the moment anyway. Yeah, it's pretty darn shitty. Pretty darn shitty. But hey-ho. We shall cope. We shall cope. So, going on to the next turn with 3 political capital, I think is completely understandable. And, yeah, we'll see what the next turn has got to offer us. Apologies for like, waiting a shit long time before actually jumping into the gameplay, but whatever. I thought it was important to at least talk about some of the features that have been added to the game. Unemployment falling. Supposedly due to waste collection. I don't really believe that. I think that's just probably the ebb and flow of the global economy and our GDP. Poverty, wow. Very big increase. Very big increase straight away when it comes to poverty. That's not great. That's really not great at all. We're running a small surplus, which is kind of nice. In terms of our debt interest, how much are we paying in terms of debt interest now? Because I'm not sure what it's going to be. 0.4%. Why was I even worried? Goodness gracious me. I should not be worried about stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, is there maybe some sort of a political philosophy that we should aim for? Is there really? I mean, I think there probably should be. Yeah, you know what? Let's try and go for a low tax, low welfare sort of economy. So I think that will probably work. We've got a space program? Really? Oh, also innovation. Innovation is like this entirely new thing, which is kind of nice. The introduction of new things or methods does a whole bunch of stuff. Really, really does. So corporation tax is actually hindering innovation. Holy cow. By a fairly substantial chunk. Yeah, holy cow. Well, yeah, you know, we wanna be a low tax economy, so we are going to be able to get rid of half of our taxes eventually, fingers crossed. So we've tried to address alcohol abuse, and it's just gone up. Fuck me. How many turns does this take to deploy? One more turn. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I can get behind that. The alcohol law, is that something that we actually want to change? I figure it probably is, actually. Let's stick it up to... Yeah, let's stick it up to this. Let's stick it up to low strength beer. Why not? Why not? Liberals are going to get very, very, very antsy with us, but in fairness, right? In fairness, they have a lot of stuff to be annoyed about. So let's try and get rid of some of that stuff. Yeah, ID cards. Fairly bad, actually. That does not seem like the most democratic feature that has ever been implemented in terms of British Empire policy. Crime going up, thanks to our alcohol tax, probably because it increases poverty, but, you know, hey-ho, whatever, what can you do, eh? Housing expansion, we are going to relax the planning law. The reason that we're going to relax the planning law is because we've got a fucking housing bubble going on right now, which is really, really problematic. Also, we need to sort out immigration. That is apparently a really, really big problem. Okay, alcohol abuse is starting to end. We're going to be saving money, which is very, very important. Race riots. Yeah, I don't even know what to do about this. I don't even fucking know. Like, holy shit. Liberals are going to start to get really, really fucking pissed off at us. And they're going to start to get pissed off at us at a rapid rate. So we can say goodbye to ID cards. Goodbye, ID cards. What's next? What else upsets the Liberals to a great, great, great degree? Ghettos. Ghettos really, really do. Okay, so primarily all of this whole racial tension nonsense is coming from the fact that we've got way, way, way too high levels of immigration. Which, in fairness, is something that we do need to tackle. And something that we're unfortunately going to have to tackle in the next turn because we don't have enough political capital right now. But government offices attacked. Holy shit. Fear of terrorism plus 50. Patriot minus 60. Conservatives minus 60. Tourism minus 0.23. And terrorist plots. Wow. Okay. That's not good. That's not good at all. However, our credit rating has been upgraded, which is somewhat nice. Our GDP is also apparently approaching maximum. And we've got a huge budget surplus. I mean, I suppose that makes sense, and it's quite good that we're going for a low tax, low welfare sort of economy. But at the same time, it's a bit easy, isn't it, having GDP start off so bloody high? I mean, the global economy is just about to peak, which means that we're going to make a shit ton of money, which is great, I suppose, but it's a bit easy. I mean, there's no difficult decisions to be made, so to speak. But hey-ho. What can you do? Okay, immigration. We're all about solving immigration. Wow, look at that line. Holy cow. Holy cow. And immigration is feeding racial tension. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Look at that. Look at that fucking line. That's impressive. Border controls. Let's beef up border controls. ethnic minorities really not going to like us, liberals really not going to like us, but I hope people understand that this is quite simply the only way to solve like a butt ton of problems within the empire. I don't think people seem to be realizing this fact, but hey ho, what can you do? Racial profiling. What? Racial or ethnic profiling is the practice of using race as a... This is stupid. This is really, really stupid. This is putting racial tension up by 24% and it barely fucking reduces crime. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. It's not necessary. Liberals are really gonna fucking like us, which is really nice to see, thank God. Because I would imagine somebody's gonna get very, very angry with me very, very shortly. That would be my ultimate thing, my ultimate prediction. Unemployment falling very, very strongly, in fact. Holy cow. Our budget is in good shape. You know, we haven't even needed to worry about the budget, like, at all. It's been amazing, actually. Like, I don't know what this Economic Realism Mod is actually doing, but it's doing a lot for us, apparently. Yeah, oh well. I don't understand why it's so darned easy. Like, we're not even trying and we're winning. It's great, isn't it? It's really, really fantastic, but obviously, you know, we don't want it to be too easy. So is racial tension going to start to go down? Is immigration even going to start to go down? How long does border controls take to be implemented? A turn. Cool, I can wait that long. Next on the list of problems to solve is either the environment or the real estate bubble. Now, I think we can solve this real estate bubble by doing something which is very, very uncapitalist of us. Which is sort of what we're going for. In fact, maybe we can't even do that. Where are rent controls? Rent controls, they are in fact here. What do we want to do? Do we want to go for state housing? State housing or rent controls? Now, okay, right? The logical person in me says state housing. State housing is the fantastic way to go about it, right? Because, quite simply, I would say that you cannot have rent controls in a free economic market. Quite simply, you cannot. If you cap the price of houses, then economics says you're going to have a shit ton shortage of houses, right? So, putting rent controls on a market that doesn't have any houses is just going to exacerbate the housing problem further, right? So the only real way that we can go about solving this problem is through the use of state housing. And unfortunately, we're going to have to spend a shit ton of money, and I mean a shit ton of money, on implementing this policy. And it's going to take 16 fucking turns anyway. So, you know, say goodbye to dedicating the rest of the game to doing this. Not to mention the fact that it's going to absolutely slash, and I mean absolutely slash, our current budget surplus, which could put us in a very, very precarious situation, I must say, over the time of, or over the period of time that the global economy decides to I don't know, take a shit, so to speak, because it's going to happen, because it always bloody well happens. It always bloody well happens. But hey ho, you know, I'm sure that we'll be able to cut back on other sort of projects. Now, drilling subsidies. What the fuck is this? Like, literally, what the fuck is this? I've literally no idea why this is a good thing. Like literally at all. This drilling subsidy bollocks is costing us billions. For what? Oil supply? And that affects the oil price to keep it steady? I mean, what? No, this oil drilling subsidies, it's got to do more, I'm afraid, and it's just gone. And you know, suddenly we're saving a fucking shit ton again. You know, we're all gravy, baby. We're all fucking gravy. People smuggling, allow them to stay or deport them. Well, let's allow them to stay, because liberals are gonna like us for that, which is very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be continuing in the next episode of Democracy 3 as the British Empire with the Economic Realism Mod. We're trying it out. We're, you know, having a little feel around, seeing if it's a-okay to use in the future playthroughs, or maybe, meh, it's something that we should just drop. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Over the Potato, and I will see you next time. Bye.